ask for the next question. Who's this question for?
This will be for everybody again. One of the things I'm really interested in, this debate tonight is being televised. The Oakland County Commission is one of the only entities of government that doesn't televise currently its meetings. So I guess my question for all of you would be, would you be in favor of televising all of the Oakland County Commission meetings, all the committee meetings, and if not, why not?
Okay, and we're going to start with District 12 now, and we'll start with Ms. Sadowski first.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's vital for people to know what is going on. They've got to learn what their government is doing. How else are they going to know who to vote for? How else are they going to know who to talk to? Oh, yeah. It should definitely be televised.
Thank you. Mr. Mattis?
Absolutely. That was a promise I made when I ran for City Council, and I fulfilled that promise, as I said in my opening statement. Absolutely, I would support it. I would also point out that my opponent was on the Rochester City Council before me and yet did not support televising. Obviously, it never occurred, and also is on the County Commission before me. And also, as we sit here today, it has not occurred there either. I guarantee you and give you my word as your next county commissioner, I will publicly support televising county commissioner meetings.
Mrs. Douglas?
Well, I have to make a correction for Mr. Mattis. I know he's new to Oakland County and he hasn't lived here very long, but I used to write a column for the Reminder, and my first column was on televising city council meetings, and I will post it on my website so that you can read it, Mr. Mattis. So you're way off base there. You should really understand what you're talking about before you make an accusation like that.
Let's stay on the subject. Your answer to the question?
I'm on the subject. At the county, we are televising some of the meetings. We have a financial problem right now. Surprise. We're doing okay, but we are seeing probably a 40% drop in revenues over the next couple of years, especially in the commercial sector. And so we haven't laid people off. We've been doing things through attrition, but I did have a committee and we did study that, and to do what we wanted to do and do it well was going to cost us about $100,000 initially for the setup, and then a little bit less later. We didn't have enough money to really do that. We have some volunteers now coming in on a regular basis. We don't have the group from here yet doing it, and giving us discs that we can distribute. So I got the first one a couple weeks ago, and we're going on that course. We've also changed to night meetings, but I have no problem with doing that. I have no problem with it. It's just all these priorities we have to juggle right now and put in place, and we're not the group that is the most watched group, and I'll tell you why. And there's one other issue with the funding. Rochester and Rochester Hills get a share of your cable bill, and it lists it on every cable bill how much they get for the use of their right-of-way. We don't have any right-of-way. We have no separate revenue stream that would feed into funding any fancy cable operations. It's just not there. So that's been a difficult part. I'm certainly not saying I'm against it. I wouldn't have had a committee that went through the whole thing and then hit the brick wall with financing. One of the Democrats picked up the ball this past year and went through the same process again, and it was the brick wall again. So we're looking for alternatives. We think this is an alternative, and we'll move from there. And hopefully once we get into a better position, financially we'll be able to do something that's broader.
And on to District 11. We'll start with Mr. Kittle.
It was just a short while ago where all the meetings were held during the morning, which made it very difficult to attend them too for those that work and would like to attend a meeting in the evening. Now they're split. It goes one in the evening, one in the morning, and back and forth. It's the year 2010. For the life of me, I can't understand why they wouldn't be televised. Obviously, there's some reason, and Ms. Douglas give us some financial concerns. There needs to be some sort of a resolution to find the funding to be able to do it. It's just, in today's day and age, there's no excuse for the county commission not to be televised.
Mr. Harmon?
I definitely am for to have the transparency of being televised. I'd be glad to work with Jeff and see that it gets done. That's important to the people. First and foremost.
Thank you, audience. If you'll stay quiet,
first and foremost, people want to know what's going on. The trouble with Washington alone is a lot of times we're in the dark. And that's the same on a city level and on a local level. A lot of times people don't know what's going on, they don't know what's happening, they just feel like they're left out. Well, it's your taxpayers. You're the taxpayers. You pay these guys. You have a right to know. You have a right to have transparency. You have a right to see everything. You have a right to go over every budget. You have a right to view it. That should be automatic. You shouldn't have to beg for it, and you shouldn't have to hold a rally for it. It should be automatic, and I think the elected officials need to step up and realize who pays their salary. Thank you.
Thank you. Also from District 11.
Yeah,
Mr.
thank you.
Reynolds.
Thank you. This is an issue that I've talked about until I'm blue in the face at the county. And I'm really happy to hear the comments up here because it demonstrates that this isn't, or at least should not be, a partisan issue. At the county commission, it all too often is or has become a partisan issue in that I and members of my party have been pushing for televising the meetings and for holding them in the evening, and members of the other party have not been as enthusiastic about it. The fact of the matter is that yes, we have budget challenges. Yes, it costs some money to do these things, but we're not the only people with budget challenges. Every local community, every school board has budget challenges, and yet every single one that I know of both telecasts their meetings and holds their meetings in the evening when people can attend and express their preferences even if they work. And this is a question of fundamental transparency, fundamental fairness, fundamental access, and it's absolutely critical that we both televise our meetings and that we hold them in the evening. I introduced a resolution last year to hold all of our meetings in 2010 in the evening. There was substantial opposition to that, and so I negotiated a compromise whereby half of our meetings this year have been held in the evenings. I'm very happy about that. But prior to that, virtually all of our meetings were held in the middle of the day when people work. And I'm the one who really pushed to move at least half of our meetings to the evening. But that's not enough. We need all of our meetings in the evening, and we need them on TV.
Could I see